What's going on, everybody? It's Nick Kosko with On3 Sports. Wrestling season is over, but the transfer portal is wild. Some of the early reactions to some of this transfer portal stuff, got to talk about it. The big ones, obviously, Dean Hamidi going from Wisconsin to Oklahoma State and Chase Saldate going from Michigan State to Michigan. So just trading in the colors, staying in the same state. I know Michigan State's Caleb Fish, another NCAA qualifiers in the portal, among a lot of other guys, but those were the big names throughout the first week right after NCAAs over the past 7 to 10 days. Obviously, Hamidi was the biggest one right away. Two-time All-American for the Badgers. Did not qualify, or excuse me, he qualified this year, did not place in 2024 at the tournament out in Kansas City. So I know it left a lot of questions about the direction of Wisconsin's program at the moment. I'm not going to get into speculation. All I know is Hamidi wrestled 3 years at Wisconsin. I believe he entered as a grad transfer, but fact check me on that. But either way, 3 years at Wisconsin, he's going to have the final year of eligibility. I believe he only has 1 year left because he wrestled in 22, 23, and 24, respectively, in those tournaments. So he only has 1 year left. I believe that is the case. He's not one of the COVID guys wrestling in 21 and getting a free year, but he's going to wrestle for the Cowboys next year. I know there's speculation about him either staying at 165 or going to 174 for the 24-25 season. Now, it's a huge loss for Wisconsin. I know they're going to have some good recruits coming in. They're going to play lineup shuffle a little bit as well. I'm sure the Badgers will be, highly competitive once again in the Big Ten, but it's a huge loss for them, losing a guy who was a national title contender over the past couple of years, breaking out as a freshman, of course, winning a Big Ten title throughout his career with the Badgers. But Oklahoma State gets a huge boost to their lineup. A guy that he lost to head-to-head, Isaac Olenek. I mean, he was a guy that was an All-American this year, a transfer in. He's a redshirt senior in 2024. So he instantly fills that spot in the lineup at 165. Now, again, it remains to be seen if Hamidi is going to go up to 174 for next season. But, again, this is a huge move for the Cowboys. And, again, Hamidi went into the portal. He had a do not contact tag on his name when it popped up in the portal. So he knew where he was going. Again, I know there's lots of questions about was this tampering or not, but this is the way it works in college athletics. These guys know where they're going to go. They have an idea. There's conversations behind the scenes, whether they're official or unofficial, illegal or not illegal. Really tough to really dive into all that stuff. And again, it's all speculation, but Hamidi had an idea of where he wanted to go. He's going to trade in the red for the Cowboy orange out in the Big 12. It's a huge move for Oklahoma State that was, on the downward trend a little bit. Kind of rose back up this year. I know they didn't get a team trophy, but Oklahoma State had a decent performance at the tournament. They got 2 finalists with Dayton Fix and Dustin Plott. I know they didn't come away with an individual national champion in 2024, but Oklahoma State's going to be in good shape next year. A lot of young guys, some guys coming back as well. And, of course, throwing in a veteran like Hamidi, you're going to have an immediate title threat in the middle of your lineup, whether he does go 65 or 74. Both weight classes seem to be a little bit more open than this past season. If he stays at 65, everyone's going to talk about, if Keegan O'Toole comes back for one more year, does he go up to 74 or stay at 65 for Missouri? That'll be an interesting Big 12 matchup. But obviously in the Big 10, who Hamidi's run into before, Mitchell Messenbrink is probably going to be the favorite from Penn State at 165 next year. Now, he can go up, he can go down. Of course, that's a conversation for another day when it comes to Penn State's lineup. But overall, Dean Hamidi was the biggest name in the portal and then coming out of the portal over the last week plus. And then the other one, Saldate, he's been in NCAAs. I think it's 4 times now he's been in NCAAs, and he has not broken that barrier and become an All-American and got onto the podium. Now, he wrestled really well for Michigan State. Michigan was heavy in the portal last year, basically got their way to a podium finish as a team. They finished 3rd this year at the NCAA tournament, got themselves a team trophy based on all the transfers. They got guys like Michael DiAugustino, Chris Cannon, Shane Griffith, Lucas Davison. Griffith obviously finished 3rd. Davison got to the heavyweight finals, lost to Greg Kirkvliet. No All-American finish there for DiAugustino, and Chris Cannon ended up getting injured and should be back next year because he didn't really wrestle all season long with that injury, so he'll probably be back next year. But again, Michigan's going to attack the portal. They have the resources. They have the means to do so. Have a great RTC up at Cliff Keen, so they're going to try to do this. And Saldate, I believe he was also a grad transfer as well. It's very interesting to see. I figured he would either go out west, because he is a Gilroy, California native, coached by Daniel Cormier in high school. Figured he would go out west. Stanford didn't seem like the right fit based on what they have in the lineup. He has a career 57-pounder. I know Cardenas was there. Stanford's All-American this year. Maybe Cal Poly would have been an answer as well. But to me, it was either just as an educated guess, Saldate was going to go out west to California, go back closer to home, or stay in the Big Ten. And sure enough, he is in the Big Ten. He's a Big Ten caliber guy. And with the right coaching, maybe just a different type of room, different atmosphere, the guy's going to be an All-American contender once again in 2025, maybe finally cracks the podium in that top 8. Now, I'm not going to say national title contender. He has a lot of potential to maybe do so, to make those types of jumps. He's a very good wrestler. I've loved watching Saldate throughout his entire career, but at least with Michigan now, he's going to be in a loaded room with that RTC and guys around him. Essentially, he's going to be the fill-in for Will Luwan, who took his final year this past year, not All-American. Will Luwan, multi-time All-American, great wrestler for Michigan for a number of years, but Saldate essentially going to be taking his spot in the lineup. If you look at it, just as a very, very early look, he'll plug right into 157. So that's a nice pickup by Michigan. Tough break there for Michigan State, losing him and Caleb Fish, the portal. Fish has not announced where he's going to go yet. I don't think it's been revealed yet at the time of me doing this video right now. So I don't know where Fish is going to go. He's an easy guy that can plug in at 165 pretty much anywhere, as long as there is a opening for him in a Big Ten school, which there probably is somewhere. He could easily stay in the conference and take this 2025 season and be an All-American contender once again in a different lineup as well. So nothing crazy in the portal yet other than those two guys were the big names. So I'm expecting more. I'm sure we're going to get maybe some surprising names. The portal is open for quite a bit, so we'll see probably some other big names enter the portal, change schools. It was a wild affair last year. Again, you had all the COVID year guys that were 6th or 7th year guys, grad transfers aplenty. You're going to see it as the offseason progresses. We're getting closer to the Olympic trials, so maybe there's some decisions to be made about that in terms of training rooms, if the guys want to make a move and help them out with the Olympic trials run, or if they're going to look ahead to the future, you know what I mean? Look ahead to the next Olympic cycle. I think that actually does play a factor. And, of course, in the world of NIL, you never know who's going to enter the portal as well. So Dean Hamiti, Chase Saldate, huge names in the portal, and they're ending up in big-time spots. So Oklahoma State made out well with Hamidi, and, of course, Michigan making out well with Saldate as well. So we'll keep monitoring the portal. More offseason content coming here throughout the wrestling offseason as we approach the latter stages of the spring and, of course, the summer as well. I'm Nick Kosko for On3 Sports signing off. We'll see you next time.